विशेषार्थो यस्य स घ्राण उच्यते। तेजो गुण विशेषार्थो यस्य तच्चक्षुरुच्यते। अम्भो गुण विशेषार्थो यस्य तद्रसनं विदुः। भूमेर्गुण विशेषार्थो यस्य स घ्राण उच्यते। तेजो गुण विशेषार्थो यस्य तच्चक्षुरुच्यते। अम्भो गुण विशेषार्थो यस्य तद्रसनं विदुः। भूमेर्गुण विशेषार्थो यस्य स घ्राण उच्यते। Synonyms and translation by His Divine Grace C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Teja Gun Vishesha, the distinctive characteristics of fire, of form. Artha, object of perception. Yasya, whose. Tat, that. Chakshu, the sense of sight. Uchyate, is called. Amba Guna Vishesha, the distinctive characteristics of water, taste. Artha, object of perception. Yasya, whose. Tat, that. Rasanam, the sense of taste. Vidu, they know. Bhume Guna Vishesha, the distinctive characteristics of earth, order. Artha, object of perception. Yasya, whose. Sa, that. Ghrana, the taste, the sense of smell. Uchyate, sense of smell. Translation: the sense whose object of perception is form, the distinctive characteristics of fire is the sense of sight. The sense whose object of perception is taste, the distinctive characteristics of water is known as the sense of taste. And finally, the sense whose object perception is order, the distinctive characteristics of earth is called the smell. Parasya drishyate dharmo ya parasyasmin samanvayat ato vishesho bhavanam bhumavev palakshate. Parasya drishyate dharmo ya parasyasmin samanvayat ato vishesho bhavanam bhumavev parasya drishyate dharmo ya parasmin samanvayat ato vishesho bhavanam bhumavev palakshate. Synonyms, translation, and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Parasya, of the cause. Drishyate, is observed. Dharma, the characteristics. He, indeed. Aparasmin, in the effect. Samanvayat, in order. Atha, hence. Vishesha, the distinctive characteristic. Bhavanam, of the elements. Bhumau, in earth. Eva, alone. Upalakshate, is observed. Since the cause exists in its effects as well, the characteristics of the former are observed in the latter. That is why the peculiarities of all the elements exist in earth alone. We need to pay this attention to this wonderful line. Since the cause exists in its effect as well. So cause is always present in the effect as well. Purport. Sound is the cause of the sky. Sky is the cause of the air. Air is the cause of fire. Fire is the cause of water. And water is the cause of earth. In the sky, there is only sound. In the air, there are sound and touch. In the fire, there are sound, touch, and form. In water, there are sound, touch, form, and taste. And in earth, there are sound, touch, form, taste, and smell. Therefore, earth is the reservoir of all the qualities of the other elements. Earth is the sum total of all other elements. The earth has all five qualities of the elements. Water has four qualities, fire has three, air has two, and the sky has only one quality, sound. We'll do the Mangalachan. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Nityanamine. Namaste Saraswate Devi Gaurvani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Deshatarine Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Jutapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। नित्यानंद अवधूतेन्द्र वसुत प्राण वल्लभ जानव जीवित पति कृष्ण प्रेम प्रभु पद्मावती सुत श्रीमान सचिनंदन पूर्वज भावन्मुक्त जगत प्राता रक्त गौर कलेवर। हरे कृष्ण। First of all, my humble obeisances to all the assembled Vaishnavas. I seek your blessing so that I can say something value. I pay my humble obeisances to Madhupati Prabhu for engaging me in this seva, so that I can do some Shastra reading. Now we are reading this wonderful description of the creation and how it is being described in this. Since the cause exists in its effect as well, the characteristic of the former are observed in the latter. So we see that creation is starting with sound, and how from there each next gross element is being created. Then the sense objects for those elements are created, and then their perception is also or the characteristic is created, and then we are we have the senses created which can perceive those characteristics, namely sound, touch, form, then smell, before that rasa. So all these things are this wonderfully described. Now these all are actually originating from Krishna. So Krishna is present. So because Krishna is the cause of all these, so even Krishna's qualities are present or can be perceived uh, in these gross elements. And it is described from various angles. Um, for example, you know, when the Virat Rupa form of Krishna is described, these various things are taken in, and because those are gross and those are easy for our senses to perceive. So, Virat Rupa form of Lord is described using these gross elements. Also, another consideration to look at is that let's say that you have some property, okay, some money. Now, if if somebody else without your permission utilizes that money um, or that property, you'll not be happy because that money belongs to you, the property belongs to you, and that's why you will be happy only when it is used in your service. So just like that, because Krishna is the cause of all these gross elements, these belong to Krishna, and the purpose of these gross elements is to serve Krishna. So that's another consideration. And we can see that in ultimate form, all these gross elements are actually better used um, in the service of Krishna. For example, sound. In the sound format, all the Vedic hymns, including the Mahamantra, is there. Similarly, the smell. We all at in our daily arati, we offer some kind of incense to Krishna, or we offer some kind of gandha pushpa, some kind of perfume, some kind of scented oil to Krishna, and then we take that as prasad. So in its ultimate form, even the smell, in its ultimate form, the touch, the form of Krishna, water in the form of either the water of river Ganga or the Charnamrit. So any of these gross elements, if you see, in their ultimate form, are there to serve Krishna. So we have to take that as a consideration, that it's proper. These are all the properties of Krishna, and these are all to be used for the service of Krishna, and in ultimate form they serve Krishna. Now let's read quickly the commentary of Srila Bhakti Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. This verse describes the additional qualities of the elements successively. The quality in higher cause, starting with sound, is seen in the succeeding effect. Same thing being talked about, that the qualities or the cause is present in the effect. For instance, the element air, since it is connected as a cause, in ether there is only one quality, sound, since there is no higher cause. In air there are two qualities, sound and touch, and by this, that there is no higher cause or the quality, it's been mentioned that there is no gross element which is causing. Of course, ether is being produced from ether, and the sound is coming from Krishna. In air, there are two qualities, sound and touch. In fire, there are three qualities, sound, touch, and form. In water, there are four qualities, sound, touch, form, and taste. And in earth, there are 5 qualities: sound, touch, form, taste, and smell. All the qualities, Vishesha, of all the elements are seen in earth alone. So, another consideration then is that earth is very important in a sense that earth has all the qualities, and the gross element earth can be used for uh, creating the form of the Lord. For example, a wooden form of the Lord, or a, a form of the Lord which is made out of stone, or the form of the Lord which is painted on a cloth, or a form of the Lord which is made out of other dhatus, or metals. So that all is actually a representation of earth. So that's also very important for our consideration, because even though our Yuga Dharma is to chant the holy name of the Lord, if we see that holy name, actually Mahaprabhu says that tatra arpita smarane niyame nakala. Actually, there is no rules and regulations in chanting the holy name. Now, if we take a step back and see, if there are no rules and regulations, then it's very difficult for a sadhaka to make progress, because in the practice stage, one has to follow a lot of rules and regulations. You can't, once you reach the advanced stage, then you can start, bending the rules. You can start, because then it is coming from a very higher platform. You're expert at that, and then you can experiment. But at the beginning stage, it's very important that there are rules and regulations. So that's where we have the service, deity service, or the devotional service to the form of the Lord, which is produced from the earth elements, or earthly elements. So there, now the moment we have deity worship in a picture, then we can start seeing that, oh, there are many rules and regulations. For example, there'll be rules. Sorry. For example, how one can even bow down to the deities. There is a rule for that. How one can actually behave, how to wake up the deities, how to sleep the deities, how to offer bhoga to deities. All these have a lot of rules and regulations. If we, even there are rules and regulations that one should not eat in front of deities, except for Mahaprasad, which is pure offering, or the mercy. Karam Kanan Maharaj explains in one of his lectures that I was listening to other day, that you're saying that mercy is something which has to be grabbed immediately. He was telling an anecdote of pastime between, I think, Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj and another, I think, Prabhu, Srila Prabhupada disciple, and they both were having prasadam together, and Srila Prabhupada came and he offered Mahaprasad to Tamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, and he kept it on the side in his plate so that he can take it at the end. And just when he kept it, This other Prabhu, I'm forgetting the name. He immediately picked it up and then ate. Poof, gone. Mahaprasad gone. And he's like, oh. And then Srila Prabhupada makes comment there that that's the nature of the mercy, that you got to accept it right away. If you don't, then it goes away. So that's a small pastime let's share. So there are, coming back to deity worship. So there are rules and regulations which are around the deity worship, and that help us in the sadhaka stage. Um, we can see even by the example of Dhruva Maharaj, that when he was going to the forest, and he was heartbroken because his father Uttanpad would not let him play on his lap. And when he complained to his mother, uh, Mother Suniti, then she said that uh, you have to worship to the Lord Narayan. He's the only one who can grant everything. And by that, Dhruva Maharaj, being a Kshatriya, he uh, wanted a kingdom which is even bigger than his Pitama, Lord Brahma. So he, just being a mere 5-year-old boy, he started for jungle. And on the way, uh, Narad Muni met him. He came when he heard this. And initially, Narad Muni discouraged Dhruva Maharaj that you're just a child. Um, why you're taking this this incident so much to your heart? You should go back home. But when he realized that Dhruva Maharaj is very determined in his pursuit, so he guided him. And he guided him by saying that, okay, this is the mantra. This is, but Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, you need to chant. But along with the mantra, he also gave him rules and regulations. He told him that how he should purify himself 3 times a day, how he should purify his senses by doing the Ashtanga Yoga, pranayam, how he should then create a form of the Lord using the earth, using the clay, uh, because there are rules and regulations which has to be followed, which has to be which will help in a uh, purification of our senses. So it's very important, and we see that Srila Prabhupada has also given us similar kind of process. Please give me 1 second. So Srila Prabhupada has also given us this chanting of the holy name, Mahamantra. But apart from that, he also established so many temples, and the followers of Srila Prabhupada are creating more and more temples where we can engage in the deity service. And we can follow the prescribed rules, how to bow down, how to approach, what to do in front of deities, what not to do in front of the deities, how we can use different articles for the service, different skills for the service. Okay? And when we do that, we make progress. Another example which Kadam Kanan Maharaj takes in his lecture is that sometimes when we are driving on a highway in really dark, we can't see much. Visibility is very less, but we can see those white markings on the road, white or yellow markings, which are telling our lane markings. And we have to follow those lane markings and continue driving. And as the time progresses and the sun rises, then we start seeing more of the road. So our devotional service is just like that. And our deity worship rules and regulations are just like those, which are telling us what is our what are our lanes, what are our markings, and what to do. And we have to continue driving on that. And once we keep following those rules, regulations, and services, then after some time, we will have this realization. The sun will dawn on us and we will start seeing more. Another consideration is that in the form of in the form of our Yuga Dharma and devotional service is that sometimes doctor will prescribe us some medicine, and there'll be some primary medication and some auxiliary medication. And primary medication is the cure, but if it is taken with auxiliary medication, then it's going to help in curing faster. Or some auxiliary activities. For example, a lot of times doctor will say that along with this medication, you do certain type of exercises, or along with these medications, you try to avoid certain type of food, or you try to include certain type of food, or you try to avoid certain type of activities and take certain type of activity. So just like that, the primary medication for us is the Yuga Dharma, is the chanting of the holy name. But along with that, if we engage in other services of other devotional services, those will act as and help us move forward faster on the path of devotional service, on the path of realization. So that is what I wanted to share. That one is the importance of the holy name and the importance of devotional service, and how we can use these gross elements in the service of Krishna. That I'd like to take this stop here. Over to you, Madhupati. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. We'd like to wish everybody a safe and Krishna conscious day and weekend ahead. We'd like to offer our prayers to the Supreme Lord by chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram,
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Hare Ram Ram Ram.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram Ram Hare Hare.
Sri Nrsimha, Jai Nrsimha, Jai Jai Nrsimha, Praladesha Jaya Padma Mukha Padma Gravira Nrsimham Bhishana Badram Nrsimha Bhagwan ki Jai Prahlad Maharaj ki Jai.
Jai.
Let's offer our humble obeisances to the assembled Vaishnavas, Mancha
Mancha
Kalpatarubhaya, Patitanam Pavanabhaya, Vaishnavebhyo Namaha. वैष्णविंद की जय आज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि
हरि हरि हरि हरि बोल. Thank you, Akhilesh Krishna.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
everybody.
everyone.
Hari
Hari
Bol.
Krishna, Hari
Hari
Bol.
Bol.
Thank you.
Sunday is Ekadasi.
Hari